Tell me what you see in me. Gotta be something different. You must be made for me. Patience is nothing. In and out, in and out, in and out. Arguing, trifling, difficult. Let more. I don't know why you love me. Yeah. You got it bad, you got it bad for me, babe. I don't feel glad that I can have this, babe. Nobody else true. Nobody else made it smooth. Nobody else had a clue what I could do, what I could do. We're riding around the love, riding around the trip, riding around the dick, riding around the slap me up, babe. Don't wanna fit, riding around the world, let you riding around, talk to me. Oh.
Hey y'all, hope you like my little montage from this morning. I am on campus right now and I'm about to watch a lecture. So it is like 12 o'clock and I've not started lecture. Things have been kind of easy this week. It's Wednesday and I thought I would just start the vlog in the middle of the week because why not? So right now, I am going to go over lecture. I kind of got one of the comments in my last vlog about how I study. Honestly, I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm only like a month in, so and we just started our first body system. So with that, like, you're still learning actually how to navigate because our first block was principles of medicine, which you couldn't really use any resources for because there is no first aid for principles of medicine. It's all about the body system. So you could use biochemistry for first aid, I guess, but our system was just spread out for the first month. So, like I said, principles of medicine didn't really apply to any of the resources. So now I'm actually getting an opportunity to use these resources. So I'll just take you all along with me as I study. I think I have a classmate that's coming in because we have a clinical tomorrow. It's a standardized patient. We did it in my very first vlog, I think. Whenever I actually started orientation, we had a standardized patient on Friday, literally like at the last day of orientation, and we just kind of learned how to like speak to the patient and things like that. Sorry if y'all see this pimple, but I popped it this morning, so it is what it is. But yeah, we have an actual standardized patient that's going to be more graded, and they're actually going to like tell us what we need to be doing differently and give us feedback. So that's what we're going to have tomorrow. I think I'm going to have a classmate come in and we're going to just kind of go over it and role play for a little bit. And then I'm going to start on lecture. Right now, I'm just going to go ahead and get started because she has not walked in here yet and I thought she was going to be here. So I'll just show you all like what I'm doing and what I kind of do like day in and day out so far, if you think that'll help you. So right now, I'm just like logging into Canvas because I'm going to watch lecture first. I always watch lecture first just because like that gives me the foundation of the things that I need to know. And of course, I'm using my handy dandy iPad and my iPad pencil, or my pencil. I don't know if it's called like an iPad pencil, an Apple pencil, I guess. I don't know. But I'm pulling up everything. And right now, I use OneNote for my notes. So I don't have like anything else that I use right now. But we're going over vaccines. So I'm going to watch this lecture first, and then I'll talk y'all through like what else I do after the fact. So right now, I'm going over Anki stuff. That's kind of what I do, like, whenever I am, looking at my information and I'm looking at my PowerPoints and everything, I definitely pull up Anki after or sometimes during to make sure that I'm getting all of the cards that I need suspended. If you have trouble, like, knowing how to use Anki, if you're given materials for med school, like the Anki, which I'm sure you're going to hear about if y'all get into school, when y'all get into school, I'll post the link in my description on someone who does a good job explaining how to use Anki, but I just suspend certain cards that are relevant to what I'm learning, and I kind of do that throughout the lecture. I'll do it after, and then at the end of lecture, I'll go over all of it. So that's kind of what I'm doing now. This is from last week's stuff, so I had way more cards, but I have 260 cards to review. I already had the test last week, so this is really from last week's material, but I want to be able to still know what I'm doing. That way I don't forget anything, so I probably am going to do some of these today, but I'm really focused on exam 2. I kind of created my own little deck for exam 2, just because I like things to be like separated, because it's just way too much information. So I have 68 new cards to go over, so I'm about to do that right now. And then after I do that, I have some prep work to go over. So I'll probably go over that, but I also found this nice resource called Med School Bootcamp, and I'm going to show y'all like how good it is. So right now we're learning about like histology, which is basically like what a cell looks like what these different things look like under a microscope, right? And so like Med School Bootcamp has all these nice resources. Like, look at that, y'all. It's like the spleen, the lymph nodes, and I have to know like every part of the lymph node. So I'm going to go over that as well. I'm going to use Med School Bootcamp as just my way to refresh. I'm also going to go over some practice questions that the Med School Bootcamp has, because that can just help me with review from last week's material. Even though I did well in the exam, I still want to make sure that I'm reinforcing those things that I learned. We also have something called Blueprint, and I'll show y'all what that is. Blueprint is basically like something that my school provides for us, where they give us resources and different questions to do, because they gave us the USMLE RX resource to do some questions. And so basically, like, we're in the immunology block, and week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, they give us all these different questions that we can go over. I'll probably wait to go over this because we have not really gone over everything in week 2. Or no, am I lying? I am lying. We're in week 3 right now. Sorry, y'all. We only learned about vaccines today, so we have to learn about immunosuppression, all the acquired primary immune deficiencies. So since I haven't gone over any of those, I'm going to wait to do this week's stuff because we literally just got into it today. However, if you look at the bottom, there's like our information is broken up into blocks, and we're in immunology block right now. So they've kind of given us this whole setup on like what to do before class, what to do after class, and this is the week for us right now. So it is Wednesday, like I said. So they kind of given us a breakdown right here, and I'm in week 3 right now. So as you can see, it's Wednesday, it's the 7th, and we're going over vaccines. This is what our class topics were. And then it's looking like we're given some flashcards, some USMLE RX flashcards to go through after today's lecture, as you can see. So I guess I'll probably do that too. I'm going to be here for another hour at least, so I'm going to go through that. And that should be it, and I'll probably see what I need to do before lecture tomorrow. So it gives us that as well. This has to do with micro lab, which I've already done. I think this is some pre-work that I have to do, some prep. So I may do the prep as well. I'm gonna be honest, sometimes I don't do the prep because like we're gonna learn exactly what the prep said in the lecture, and I just don't feel like going over it twice when I could just go over it once and then just learn it. Going over the same information like over and over doesn't help me learn. I need to kind of know, like, you know, apply it. I'll learn it once and then apply it. I think that's kind of what doctors say, like first you learn, then you do, then you teach. So I'm learning it right now, and then I'm going to apply what I learned through questions, and then, you know, so on and so forth. So I don't really like reading things twice. I don't think that helps me. I think it's a waste of time. So I'm going to start with my Anki flashcards, and yeah, my camera's about to die, so I'll probably see you all when I get back home. Hey guys, it's Thursday. It's the next day. We have our clinical skills exam today, which I am so happy about, hence my attire. So I am going to be talking to a standardized patient today, and throughout our PCC course, which if you don't follow me, like in my last weekly vlogs, I talk about PCC and how basically it stands for patient-centered care, but it's how you learn how to be a doctor, how you learn how to ask the difficult questions, how to do a physical exam, like how to change gears and talk about sexual history and not be awkward. Like you learn about literally stuff like that. So we have our clinical skills exam today, where we're going to go in with a standardized patient, ask them about their history, take a history and take their HPI and chief complaint and come up with a differential diagnosis. So we did this like a couple weeks ago. Honestly, it was about a month ago. We did this the first week of orientation. We did it on Friday, like our last day. and we had to go in with a standardized patient and just get used to talking to a patient. So we've done this before, but this time we're actually going to get feedback, and we have to give a differential diagnosis. Like, we have to give, I think, 3 things about what the problem could be, and we get feedback based on that. So I'm kind of excited about that. I guess I'm a little nervous because, like, I'm just ready to get it over with, but honestly, I just feel like I'm comfortable talking to people. I'm comfortable asking those questions. I think I just need to focus on, like, asking the lifestyle questions. Like, sometimes I'll forget to ask, like, oh, what do you do for work? Because sometimes that can affect, like, your health if you work as a construction worker and you have, like, lung issues, things like that. Like, I don't really pay attention to that. So it's little things like that that I'm learning, like, okay, make sure you ask about those things, don't forget about them. But other than that, I feel like, you know, I'm pretty comfortable talking. I'm comfortable talking to, I don't know, I'm just comfortable talking to people. But even in my last standardized test, or my standardized patient, I didn't feel, like, weird. I felt like, you know, just have a conversation, Kristen. Just get to know them and ask as many questions as you can about, like, their issues, and make sure you cover family history, medical history, surgical history, any known drug allergies, and social history, and you know, come up with, in sexual history, and then come up with, you know, all your information from there. But make sure you're just asking those questions. So I try not to, like, make it like a textbook thing, because to me that messes me up when I think about it. Like, ask this question, do this, then this, then this. Like, it's not natural for me to flow like that. So I haven't really practiced that much. I think I've practiced like twice on 2 different cases, but I feel okay with that because I know myself, and I know that if I try to make it like a textbook type thing, it's gonna mess me up and it's gonna throw me out of my natural groove. And I know that I can talk to people. So I'm excited about that. You know, it's not until 3:20, and it's going to last for about 20 minutes. I think they're going to give us like 5 minutes before going into the patient room to, like, just look at the chief complaint and look at, I guess, the review of systems and maybe the physical exam, just so we can know, like, what's going on. And they're going to give us 5 minutes after the exam to come up with the differential. So altogether we have 30 minutes to do all that, and we have 20 minutes in the room with the patient. So that should be good. But before that, we have blood draws and blood pressure today. So I'm going to try to get in as much footage as I can with y'all, just so I can show y'all, like, what that looks like. I think at 1:30, I think I have my schedule. 1 second. I wrote it down on a sticky note. 1:30 to 2:15, we have blood draws. So we're going to learn how to, like, draw blood, and we have dummies and, like, fake blood. And then at 2:15 to 3 p.m., we're going to do blood pressure. So I've already kind of learned blood pressure for my undergrad degree. I was an exercise science major, so we had to learn blood pressure. But, you know, I'm sure that I could, like, you know, learn some more. So 2:15 to 3, we have blood pressure. And then from 3:20 to 3:50, I go into the clinic, and I have my standardized patient. So I'm excited to show you all some things. I feel like this is the first time that we're actually getting to do some, like, actual hands-on stuff. We're actually kind of doing some doctor stuff. We do have clinical week in October, which is where we're going to be in actual clinic all week. And I'm pretty sure they're going to have us taking histories for real patients. I think that's why we're doing it so much, because we're going to actually be doing it for real patients within a month or so. So I'm pretty sure that's why. And, you know, it's important to just get used to it. Like, this is literally what we're going to be doing for the rest of our lives. Get used to talking to a patient. Like, get used to it. Get comfortable with it. And you'll get better at it the more you do it. So I'm excited. For right now, it's 9:30. I'm about to go on campus. Well, I'm on campus right now. I'm just parked in the lot right now. I'm going to go to one of the buildings, and I'm going to go over lecture, because lecture started an hour and a half ago. And I don't want to be too behind before I start my blood draws and everything like that. So I'm about to go to campus. I'm about to go to this building, watch lecture. Hopefully I can get done before everything is over. And at the end of the day, I have to get my TB skin test read. We have to get a lot of these immunizations before we can step foot in the clinic in October. So I had to get all my stuff done before September 30th. And I have to get my TB skin test read at 4:15. I also need a flu shot, so I'll probably be doing that at the end of the day. And honestly, I think that'll be it for my day. I may do some studying after that, just to stay on top of things, because we're kind of starting to get into some more nitty-gritty information. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna go to the gym today. I guess I could stand to go at like 8 p.m. Maybe I'll go then. Maybe I'll go, like, at night. That way I can still get it in, you know? Maybe I'll do that. I just know sometimes my gym gets, like, really crowded, and, like, I don't want to be annoyed. Especially when it's, like, 15, 20 minutes away. Like, that's kind of a lot of driving to be annoyed and not being able to do anything at the gym. We'll see. I don't know. But as of right now, I'm going to go to go to one of these buildings to study.
I will show you guys how I do it, and then sometimes it's hard for me to tell you to do it, and then just have you try to replicate what I do, and then I'll walk you through if there's any help.
Is that right?
Yeah, I feel like that's right. You should be a little tighter.
Are you sure you'd be like, I just want to tie you like that?
That's how they see me.
Alright, so let's see.
I'm gonna get you in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not as like.
And then what I do is I switch my hands. So yeah, you're grabbing this hand with that one. Sorry, swap. See what I mean? It's hard to say. Okay. And then one of these I'm gonna pull tight. Yep, so that is the move. Rather than flipping the whole thing through, I'm gonna leave just a tail. So just this bit is there.
Okay.
That allows for the quick release. And then you just have to add some tension to make it tighter.
Here.
Yeah. Yep, and you can do that. And then so like right there it's not tight enough, so you can take this little bit and then that string there and kind of tighten it a little bit more if you want. And then we just want the little tap.
Okay.
Let's try again.
Are y'all getting it? Like how to do it?
Yeah, I think okay, you wanna try? Yep.
I don't want to hurt her.
Yeah, it's fine. Part of this is really to assess the veins too, so it does need to be tight. So now at this point, I take this hand and I pull tight. There you go. And then I tend to use this hand to just hold it in place while I take this one to tuck. Just like that. Yep.
Am I hurting you?
No.
It's uncomfortable. It's not painful, it's just uncomfortable. So like that's, for her, she's got really good veins already. So like I feel like this might even be enough pressure, but probably I would tighten it a little bit more. Are you okay?
Yeah, you're fine.
There you go.
Oh, good.
That's great. So I can see this vein, so it's kind of a cheat, you know, we're able to see it. But I want you to close your eyes and kind of bounce your finger next to it, and then over it, and then next to it again to feel the difference. Can you feel that rubbery kind of bouncy too? That is the feeling we're looking for. And you can feel on yourself too if you haven't already done that in your life.
It's okay. Wait, I don't know why I'm closing my eyes.
A little bit tighter. So when I come over like this, I can hold it tight. And then hold it really tight. Okay. It's not maybe it's not but we're gonna get the
Tight.
so yeah, let's see.
Yep. And then I would make a bunny ear with this one and tuck it up. Yep, bunny ear. Yep.
But I think I'm
Yep. Yeah.
I'm gonna try to go a little tighter. I don't mind.
so
Is it comfortable?
So we also have
Nice.
sometimes you can
And then I would bunny.
circle where it's
Oh, yeah. Right.
tend to have a vein right there.
Yeah.
You have that I
Which one am I branding? This?
but it might be a little bit harder to feel. I don't know if
I would bunny this one and then put it under. I think you switched the way that you did it.
I can feel that. I can feel my vein being
Bunny.
I know.
Yep. No, you're not hurting me at all.
Yeah. So let's my turn.
Yeah.
I'm done.
You know, do all that. You don't have to wear gloves for this, but anyway. So go ahead and take out your butterfly and take out your vacuum cleaner. This is absolutely disgusting.
You're right. Okay.
Alright, so these two pieces are going to connect. The white piece at the end of the butterfly tubing, there's a cap on there. You can take the cap off, and then it attaches into the blue piece of the vacuum cleaner. And those two pieces are really meant to stay sterile, which all that means is just don't like put your finger on it. We just kind of hold them around those parts and connect them. The overall time a tourniquet should be on is no longer than a minute. So like when we do it, I'm going to walk you through it. We're going to take our time. But in real life, we're mindful of how long that tourniquet has been on. Yeah, that's fine. But you can use this and pick which one. I was just getting the blood off.
I want this one, but it's been poked at too many times. So I guess I'll use the other one.
I know, sometimes you can see the holes.
Yeah, I'll do the other one is a little bit better, but it's okay.
Alright, so now they're clean and prepped. Ideally, we don't touch the spot after we've cleaned it. Or if I do, because I need to like reevaluate or something, I'll just clean it again. And then the needle. So to take the cap off, don't do this yet, but to take the cap off, I just hold one hand and one hand on the cap and pull away like that. I tend to go in like this, and you want to go at a 35-degree angle and look for that flashback. Yep. Sorry, I'll be right back.
So like this. It's about 35, right?
That's 35. It's giving like 27.
Yeah, that's 35. All right, well. I know.
This one doesn't come this way.
I don't know why I'm using my left hand.
Is blood supposed to come out at this point? No, not yet, because the vacuum.
No, yeah, we haven't.
We haven't done it.
She said, but you should see light pink color in the
You should see it like
Well, I'm clearly not there then.
Can I move with this arm? I want to do it this way.
Yeah, I want to do it. Like,
Oh, I do see it. Okay, bet.
There's supposed to be a 2 hours. Like,
Oh, shoot. Okay. You did it. Bet. Cool.
Alright, we're kind of left here.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, approximately, maybe down a little bit, like less a little bit. Yep, so you got blood returns, so then you can go ahead and take your other hand and pop those tubes in to the vacuum cleaner.
Which tube should I use
It
first?
doesn't matter.
Okay, I'll
right
use this
now, we'll talk about that. But
And
right
I'll just
now.
stick it.
Yep.
This is light thing right here.
Ooh.
Yep, you got it. So then take your other hand and pop those tubes in the tourniquet.
What I'll do when
cleaner.
it's filled up?
Yeah, either way works. Yep. What'd you say?
What I'll do when it's filled up? Or when it's...
Then we'll switch to the second one.
oh, this too.
Oh, wow.
Either one. Yep.
Zooming right on out of there.
Yep. So once you pop it, the vac container has a vacuum system.
Mine's not, like, fully...
I know.
So how much do you have in there? About half the tube? Oh, I see. So what probably happened is, look at the angle of your needle. If you let go of it, so that's upside down now.
Oh.
So yeah, usually we recommend having a hand on that. You'll see sometimes people will let go. That's fine, but like if you have like an older patient with really thin skin, that needle just needs like literally less than a millimeter before it's not in the vein anymore.
Oh, okay.
So if it comes out of place, it'll stop.
Yeah, mine
sucking
stopped.
blood out. Yep. So that means that it's full, so you can swap out. Now that one I can tell visually that it's not full and something's wrong. Those purple tubes usually go about half, a little bit over halfway.
Okay.
Take the needle out and place it somewhere else.
Yeah, if you want to. In a real patient, no, but here you can.
I want to try the hand.
Can we do the...
It's up to you if you want to. She's gonna take those out and release it, so you can do that too. You're not gonna get flashback though, because it's already got flashback.
Are we done?
Yeah, that's great. So you can either reuse this and stick again to do this, or you can do a second tube here.
And you have to record the video just like
Did I mess this up?
If it's not filling anymore,
so wait
go ahead
till I
and hit the
start so I
safety,
put
and
it
I'll
in.
get you a new one.
Oh. That's how that works.
I love this thing.
Okay.
Hi, thank you so much.
Hey guys, we're at the end of the day now. We finished everything. The clinical exam went well, the clinical skills exam. You guys saw the blood draw. We also did blood pressure. I didn't record that. It was just us, like, learning how to do a manual blood pressure. And we also had the automatic ones, like the electronic ones. I don't know when we will actually be using the manual. Maybe if we're working like in a clinic or a community health clinic or something like that. I'm not sure. But that was what we did after that for about 45 minutes. And then I moved into the clinical skills exam, which went really well. I was like the first one to leave out of my room. Like, we were given kind of like a... we were given just the name of the person and the age of them. And this was a fake patient. It was a standardized patient. But we were like using part of like the actual clinic that real patients go in. They just kind of sectioned off an area for like the medical students to practice. So we were in the room But well, before we got in the room, we stood outside, entered in our like ID number for the school, and we just logged into the computer basically, and we were given a paper and a clipboard and a pen, and we were given the person's name and their age. And so what I did was I wrote down like the CC, which is the chief complaint. After that, I gave it some space, wrote down the HPI, gave that some space. Then I wrote down like medical history. I gave a little space for drug allergies, and then I gave a space for social and sexual history and family history. And I just wrote in that stuff, that way I would know like what I need to be asking. And then I also created a section for review of systems, and I kind of just wrote down random things that you can ask, like you know, headache, dizziness, blurry vision, changes in vision, changes in hearing, sore throat, shortness of breath, chest pain, abdominal pain, loose stools, diarrhea, things like that, to like get through all like the systems of the body, or most of them anyway. That way I can just use that as a way to further diagnose. So I did that. I kind of just wrote out those words, that way I could just remember to ask him those things. And it went pretty well. I think that I could have done a better job transitioning. So I actually got a review from my professor, because we were being recorded, and our professor was like looking at them. So I will just show you what his feedback was. It says, "Kristen, good job. You got all of the information, and I don't think you missed much. If anything, I would suggest that we work on spending a little more time at the beginning of the interview with open-ended questions, as it might help your interview flow a bit better. I would also just suggest going over the HPI with the patient at the beginning before moving into the past medical history, etc., as it may help with the transition. Overall, I was very impressed." So very happy about that. I'm glad that he was very impressed. I'm glad that he felt like, you know, there wasn't much to suggest. And I figured, I'm not trying to be cocky, but I figured I wouldn't have many corrections, because I know how to speak to a person, and I know how like I would want a doctor to address me. And at the end of the day, it's a conversation. I do think like he said, I do think he had validity to that. I think this was the first time that I actually added the review of systems into like my patient encounter, because the first time that we had a patient encounter, which was the first week of clinicals, or no, the first week of orientation, I didn't know anything. We were just going in asking questions. So this time, and we didn't really go over review of systems in my PCC class, so it was very new to me. Like literally, I was just talking to a girl. You probably seen her on my TikTok. Follow me on TikTok. I'll leave like my name down here below. I'm kind of new, so yeah, follow me. But anyways, the ladies that I was walking with on the way to the clinical exam were talking to me about how I should include the review systems. I was not gonna do that if they hadn't said anything. So shout out to them. They saved me. Like I really didn't know. And that's what this is all about, teamwork, you know, getting advice from other people, because none of us are perfect and we're all trying to work on this together. So I was not going to do that. So I think like with me just trying to get all the information, it was definitely, I felt like it went well, but also the chief complaint was very short. It was just like a sore throat. Like the chief complaint was not like, you know, any chest pain or any like numbness or tingling. Like it was just like sore throat, you know? So I felt like in general, it was kind of like, I don't know, he didn't have much to say. I was kind of like, you know, trying to pull things out of him. Like, you know, have you been around a crowd? Asking about sexual history. Cause you know, you can get like different types of STIs if, you know, if it has anything to do with that. Yeah, I was like, you know, does anything make it worse? Does anything make it better? Like, I was trying to pull, and I felt like he was really acting very well, but overall, it was just not much to say. So I can appreciate his feedback 100%. I'm glad that he was impressed, and it makes me know that I am on the right track. I can do this doctor thing. I can do it. I can be good at it, and I'm just glad that he felt good about it. So I can think about the next time that I have these things just to get better and better. And every situation is going to be different. I may come with a more difficult case. And so it's just all about just getting that experience and getting more and more comfortable in a patient's room. At the end of the day, this is what I'm going to be doing every single day, all day. So get used to it. So I'm very happy about that. And for now, I am going to meal prep. It's 5:30 right now. We learned a lot of stuff today in lecture. I didn't record. I was just sitting in one of the buildings on campus, going over the lecture, going over Anki, which I guess I could show a more in-depth like clip of like exactly what I do, but I was with like other people, so I didn't really want to. I don't know. I may record next time, but I was just going over Anki, adding in extra Anki cards that was in my PowerPoints in the lectures, and that was it. But it was a lot of information. Right now we're learning about drugs that suppress the immune system. That's what we learned about today. Also, we learned about primary immune deficiencies and acquired immune deficiencies. So a lot of information that I have to go over today. I would like to kind of redo some parts of my hair because it's getting a little frizzy. But like I said, it's 5:39, 5:40 right now. So I'm going to cook first, and hopefully it won't take me long. And I may do my hair. I may study. All right, y'all. So I'm going to the gym. This is my outfit. This is from Women's Best. Both the pants. These are originally pants. I cut them off. Like, I just cut them down because they itch my legs. I don't know why. But that specific material, like that specific pattern, itches my legs. So I just cut them down in the shorts. And then here's like the shirt with like the crisscross action. And I have this hat on because my braids need to be redone and I don't have time to do them yet. So it is what it is. I'm not going to take y'all with me to the gym because it's going to be a lot of people. It is 8 p.m. and I didn't go this morning. I'm trying to get back into a routine. So I may take y'all like maybe in a couple more days. Not really sure. But I am going to go to the store to get some things. I'll probably take y'all with me there. And then I'll come back home. But I haven't done any studying. I'm actually like editing a YouTube video. I'm editing this video right now. But I haven't done any studying. It's just been kind of playtime right now because I had a good clinical skills exam and we learned how to do blood draws. And I have the rest of the day tomorrow, to be honest. I mean, I have a little bit of stuff to do from 8 to 12. But I have the rest of the day on tomorrow to like study and catch up. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to enjoy myself. I'm going to go to the gym. So I'll see you soon. Hey y'all, I just got out of the shower. I left the gym. I just took my makeup off to clean my face. I use CeraVe, this foaming cleanser. And I do use like some exfoliating pads, but I don't exfoliate every day because I just don't think it's necessary. I'm trying to do better like with my skincare and just with my self-care in general because it's just, I don't know, I just don't want to be like so hard on my body, you know, like it takes care of me, so I want to take care of it. So I'm trying to like be more serious about skincare because I may not care now, but I know I'll care in like 10 years or 15 years. So I want to like do right now, you know, that way it'll pay off for me in the end. I have to eat better as well. I haven't really been eating like much, and then whatever I do eat, it's like, you know, bad stuff. So all of that, getting my water and taking in my fruits and veggies, I'm gonna do better. But like I said, this is a transition. So I'm doing, you know, the fact that I've gone to the gym twice this week already, it speaks, you know, volumes for me. So I washed everything off my face. I really wanted to get like some witch hazel, but I didn't find any other toners in the store whenever I went. However, my mom got me these hydrating cloths. So I'm gonna use one. You kind of just like, it comes in like a package and like you wet it. And it's made with vitamin E, and it's supposed to moisturize your skin. Ooh, it lathers up. Smells great. I feel like I need a little bit more hydration because I've been getting my water intake up this week, but I just feel like my skin needs a little bit more. I'm being very careful because of these lashes to not like just splash everything on my face. So yeah, just gonna lather. So I'm just gonna let my face air dry right now. It's just the best way to do it, y'all, to be honest. And while I'm waiting, I am going to use this amber white oil. Y'all really gotta like get some. I'm telling you, like, it smells so good. I smell it on my shirt because I put some on like before I went to sleep the other day. But like, it's an oil, so you can like put it on. It's not alcohol based, and it smells so good. It's like, it smells so clean. I put it on under like my shirt, on my neck, the back of my neck, my arms. I need to just like lotion with it, to be honest. But like, oh my gosh, it's just, it's so good. It is so good. Like, I cannot even, and I'm not even really like a fan of like perfumes and stuff like that, at least not yet, because I don't be buying stuff like that. But when I say like this smells so good, and it kind of smells like a little feminine, like, you know, like, ooh, I just want to come and just give you a hug, like, I just want to come and give you a hug and like just smell you, like I just want to. That's what it smells like. So yeah, I'm gonna lather that on while I'm waiting for my face to dry. I do brush my lashes. I don't really like to do them while they're like wet or while they've been kind of like in the shower, just because I just don't want them to fall out. Not that they would, but yeah. So I guess I'll just chat with y'all while I'm waiting for my face to dry. I'm just gonna lotion because I have not lotioned in forever. Just using this Vaseline Essential Healing Intensive Care Lotion. I do like Vaseline products. I have the spray lotion, which is definitely good whenever you're like feeling lazy, which is like me all the time. But yeah, so I had to get my flu shot today because I have to get immunizations for whenever we go to the clinic in October. We're actually going to be going to like a real clinic. It's part of why I had my CSE today, my clinical skills exam, because like we are going to actually be taking histories, taking the chief complaint and the HPI from real patients in a month. So I'm pretty sure they're gonna like put us to work whenever we go, because I'm pretty sure we're gonna be in clinic all week. Like, it's not just gonna be, you know, one day. I think it's gonna be like for 1 week in October, for the whole week. So that's why they wanted us to get used to taking that. And then I think after that, we're gonna learn the physical exam. So I'm gonna have to eventually get a Littman. If y'all are wondering like what stethoscopes to get and things like that, I think the Littman is supposed to be like more accurate. It's supposed to be easier to hear, you know, sounds, heart sounds, bowel sounds, things like that. Of course, it's more expensive, but Amazon has everything for the low, so I'll probably end up getting it, or I'll probably ask one of my family members to get it for me. So that's probably what will happen there. But yeah, so that's why I feel like pretty good about everything. I feel pretty good, and I can't complain. And this is just the deodorant that I use. I don't really know if it works that well, to be quite honest with you. I need another deodorant. Give me some deodorant options if you all know of any that help. I feel like my skin is about dry, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try a new product. My mom, whenever I went home this past weekend, she had me using this Olay Regenerist stuff, but I saw in the store that it was like $32, and I was just like, I think I'm going to try something else and see if that works just as well. So I ended up getting this L'Oreal Collagen, there we go, this L'Oreal Collagen Moisturizing Cream. I think I'm going to try to use that because it was only like $12. And I know I need to be like actually putting time and investing in my skin, but let's just take baby steps because no. So this is what it looks like right now. And I'm just going to take some. I feel like I only need this much. Just going to rub it in my hands. Because I definitely need like a cream, you know, to wear at night while I sleep. It smells really good, so I'm actually kind of liking that already. My face does feel moisturized, so I'm having a little bit of more breakouts right now, and that could be for a multitude of reasons. Honestly, it really could. But I'm just gonna stay the course and get healthier, get back to my healthy regimen, and hopefully that works. This can be used for the daytime or the nighttime. So I'm gonna put that here. If you all like my setup, I can give a room tour. But it definitely looks really nice. I have like my Amber white oil and my face stuff, and then all my other hygiene stuff that I use all the time. But that's really it for me for tonight. I am going to call it a day pretty much, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Good night. Hey y'all, it is Saturday. I skipped a day yesterday. I didn't really have much going on. I was on campus all day from like 8 to 6:30-ish because I was just studying, getting some things just reaffirmed in my head. I was going over med school boot camp, going over the primary and acquired immune deficiencies. Now I'm going to go over the immunosuppressants. So I figured I would show y'all exactly how I study right now. I normally don't study in my room, but I finished doing my hair over because it was looking a little bit, you know, just not together. And I just figured, you know, it's 4:30. I just want to stay in my room and just get some things done before I do some things later on in this evening. So I'm going to show you all how I study. This is a common thing that I do when I'm dealing with like learning how to study drugs, like learning what drugs do what their names are. Those are very direct things. It's not a lot of like, it does involve physiology, but it's really like very direct, easy to memorize. So I'm going to show you how I study with that. So what I first do is I look over the PowerPoint, right? And I also have my whiteboard sitting up here. So a lot of times I study by like writing things down. So right now we're going over like icosanoid production inhibitors and anti-inflammatories, steroids, things like that. Those suppress the immune system. If you didn't know, now you know, you learned something new. Those suppress the immune system, especially steroids. So I'm just gonna take you like through how I do it. I'm just going to kind of montage this so you can see what I'm doing in real time. A quick little study tip: if you like neglect your eating, or if you neglect getting your protein in, for those of you who like to work out or just be healthy in general, I would suggest like, you know, having a protein shake by you, one that you don't necessarily have to make, because sometimes whenever you get in the zone studying, you don't think about eating, and then before you know, it's been 4 or 5 hours before you've eaten, and that's not healthy. So make sure to have like something quick to just kind of sit down while you're studying that doesn't take a lot of effort. You can still, you know, get back to what you're doing, and you don't need to wash any dishes. So what you see me doing right now is like just looking through the PowerPoint and writing out kind of like what's on the PowerPoint. It just helps me memorize. I'm kind of like writing down how prostaglandins are being produced. And so I like to keep things in a pathway. If I can write the pathway, eventually the pathway like gets memorized in my brain, and then that's how I learn. And then what I do is once I'm done with everything, I'll write everything up on my board, and that's how I know I memorized it. And then eventually I'll go to Anki after that, and I'll just keep reinforming it in my head. Like, not reinforming, that's not the word. I forget the word right now because studying, but I will basically just embed it in my brain that like this is what this is, this is what this is. So it's like very repetitious, if you will, but that's what I'm doing right now. So I just went over like the icosanoid production inhibitors, which basically are aspirin, naproxen, and ibuprofen. I'm going over like what those NSAIDs do. and I'm kind of switching gears because it's like the PowerPoint is taking me to a kind of a different topic. And so since I kind of have reached a stopping point, I'm going to write down what I learned on this iPad here, just taking some notes, and I'm going to go look back on it. That way, whenever we move to something else, I can review it, and then we can pull it all together whenever we're all done. Y'all, I'm on my phone, not like studying, but I just found out we have an assignment due this week that I ain't heard nothing about. Welcome to med school. Okay, so I finished going over the whole PowerPoint for all the immunosuppressant drugs. So now I'm going to go through my blueprint. I think I told y'all earlier that blueprint is basically like a layout of what we're going to be doing day in and day out, and what we need to do for our prep, what we need to do after our lectures. And they give us, this was given to me by the school, and they go day by day, so it gives me USMLE-RX questions to do to correlate with what we're learning as well. Since I've already kind of gone over most of the material that we've learned so far, or really all of it, I'm going to go ahead and apply what I've learned and do some questions. So it gives me the different questions to actually use. So I am going to copy those questions. So I just created a test for myself from USMLE-RX. Like I said, we were kind of given certain questions to use, or certain like question IDs to use. That way we are basically targeting what we're learning. So I just created a test from USMLE-RX. I was going to use Med School Bootcamp, but they do not cover pharmacology in Med School Bootcamp. So I cannot use it towards that, and we don't have any other resource right now. After I do this, if I have time, I may go over some Anki cards just to reinforce what I've learned. That's typically how I would study. Like I would, go over lecture, write stuff down to help me memorize it, and then I would apply the stuff in the question, whether it's through a practice question or a practice test that the school has given us, or whether it's through Med School Bootcamp. And then I will also try to incorporate what I've learned through first aid, because first aid has some really good things on what you need to learn in regard to like the NBME exams in step 1. So I may, after I do the practice questions or questions from Med School Bootcamp or from USMLE-RX, I'll go into Anki, add in whatever details I need from first aid that aren't already there, and then I'll do my Anki cards, and that'll be pretty much it for my studying routine. So I'm going to go ahead and do this test. So adenosine deaminase, that is a type of skid, and that would mean the B cell and T cells are low, so that's not it. BTK would have low B cells, so that's not it. CD18, I don't know what that is, but okay. IL-12 receptor. Okay, so I finished studying. I had 34 questions of USMLE-RX to do, but I only did like 10 of them because they took really long and they were very in-depth, but I feel good about it because the only ones that I missed were the ones that I had literally never seen before. Sometimes USMLE-RX will give you stuff that, like, I don't know, it'll assume that you know certain things about, like, okay, for instance, we've not really learned about like what a CBC and differential, like what those numbers look like. We don't technically know what is a normal level of red blood cells, normal level of white blood cells. I know a little bit of it because I worked as a medical scribe. If you didn't watch my medical scribe day in life video, I'll tag some up here, but I worked as a medical scribe, so I know what a normal neutrophil count looks like. I know what a normal hemoglobin looks like, but we didn't learn that yet. So some of those things like I missed because I just didn't know that, which I'm okay with because I just didn't learn it. That's the only thing about USMLE-RX for any med students or pre-meds that are like watching that want to use that or have heard of that resource. Know that like whenever you are taking questions out of the bank, some of it may come with things that you've never heard of before, or you're always going to be learning something, but that's a good thing. Don't get discouraged. Don't feel like you're getting everything wrong. You're going to fail your test. You're not. Just know that, hey, I didn't know this, and like maybe put it down on a flashcard, or maybe try to remember it for the next time. But it's not because you're not going to do well. They just want you to know more than what you actually know right now. And they also pull for more first aid material as well. Like there was one disease that we did not talk about in class, but it was on the first aid. It was in first aid, and I have to go back over it because I did not remember it. But as far as the ones that I did know, the ones that I know we went over in class, I got those right. So I'm very happy with that. I also like to read through the explanations to make sure that I understand why each question was wrong. Remember, you all, that's the same type of strategy that you need to use when studying for the MCAT. Go through each question and understand why it's wrong. So I did that, and that's what kind of made me take a little bit longer, which is why I didn't get through all the questions. So I'll start that probably tomorrow. I didn't get a chance to do Anki either because we're going over to my friend's house, one of my classmates' house. I think you saw her in the last vlog, but we're going to go over her apartment complex, just chill, you know, relax, hang out with each other, spend some time with each other. And it's sad because it's Saturday, it's like 7 p.m. So I'll pick back up with this tomorrow. I'll probably go back over the USMLE questions. I'll finish those up, go over Anki, and then just skim over some things that I didn't really get a really good grasp on from earlier in the week. And that's probably what I'll do tomorrow. So I am going to bring you all with me. Hopefully they don't care. They know that I vlog.
Life is so short.
Life is too short.
No!
Kristen.
This is Black Twitter. A guy says this to you. A guy says this to you in his text. Don't talk to you. No. I hope that you do. I hope that you. I hope that.
Okay. This is TV and film. So this is something you will find. This is on a soul food plate. Oh God. Green? No, not green. You're not green. I'm sure. You're gonna eat your shit. Yeah. Okay. Words to live by. This is like some real common stuff right here. What do birds do, y'all? Grass. Okay. Alright, this is something that you would say when you not trying to be a part of whatever is going on. My name's not Bennett and I ain't in it. That don't make sense.
I feel like COVID is a bullshit answer.
It is. There wasn't a committee to plan it.
I'm mad that we really low-key didn't get like anything. Like even the RX stuff. We didn't get that. We didn't. Like I don't like that.
The no class picture is like basic something else you don't not do. And I guess like you won't want to take a class picture because we might not all graduate, but that's kind of
Who cares?
That's
Who
kind of
cares?
that you don't think we're all gonna graduate. Like,
But not even that. Did I not get in? Oh, okay. Like I want my picture.
take the picture.
At least I tried. I could drop on third year. You don't know what